Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. So today we're going to look at a trailer, a new living quarters that has just shown up. It is a great layout. We really like this trailer. It's a 2021 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse living quarters. So this trailer, we actually kind of got inspired by a customer as far as the layout goes. But this is a 3-horse like I mentioned. So this trailer, as it sits right here, we're looking at a 7'7" tall trailer. It's 8 foot wide and it's 30 foot on the floor. So with it being 30 foot on the floor, you know, this trailer is really easy to maneuver, get in and out of kind of some smaller spaces. And then on the LQ side, this is a 13.6 short wall with a slide out. So again, not a massive trailer by any means. Let's take a look at this because it is kind of a smaller package, but it's got a lot of options to it and a lot to the trailer itself. So let's start right here underneath the gooseneck. One of the first things that we do, because this trailer is a slide out, is we put the dual electric over hydraulic jacks on it. It just helps from a stability standpoint, kind of leveling the trailer out. With that slide, we want every bit of stability we can get to it. The nice thing about these hydraulic systems as well, this electric over hydraulic lift system on this, is it does have a manual override. So if we get in an emergency situation, we can pump it up off the truck or down onto the truck, either way there. Battery boxes, we upgrade it to the two 30-pound LP tanks rather than the 20s. We understand that you're going to be traveling, you're going to be going for some time. You know, for a little bit more money, you go with the 30-pounders. You're not having to change these tanks as often because of that. So here's your battery box. Let's get these opened up here. Here's our hydraulics for the slide. And then over in this box is going to be our 2 house batteries. And then a third battery. Now this one right here is for the air ride. This is an air ride equipped trailer. We'll talk a little bit more about what that does for your horses. But the system itself for the air ride is right over here. It's all self-contained. It's very easy to use. It's literally turn it on, put it in the raised position, go down the road. When you get home, you turn it off, you lower it, roll this knob to the lower position, and then clear our lines with the cable. But very simple to use. And again, this stuff keeps everything just nice and clean, kind of out of those elements. So this being a 13.6, this is an Outlaw conversion. So, you know, when we combine a Cimarron with an Outlaw, we feel like you're combining the best of both worlds. So on this trailer, like I mentioned, it's a little bit smaller, but man, this trailer's got a lot of punch to it. 13.6 short wall. I'll have you kind of take a look at the bathroom. We'll kind of start there. You've got a pass-through door that goes into the stall area, but then you've got a nice big closet with dual doors, a radius shower with a skylight, so it gives you a little bit more natural lighting, and then a little bit more headroom as well. And then you've got your bathroom vanity. Nice big deep sink. We really like this option here, and that is a good looking sink with that nickel plating there. And then you have a porcelain toilet. We upgraded to the wood, and then we put the accent on top there of the Cayman to kind of match the sofas out in the living space here. So this being a 13.6, this is a little bit surprising, but you've got this nice big slide out with this fold down sofa sleeper here. But then we were able to get you a second seating area with the dinette. Now this will fold down into a bed as well. This is more of a one person, or if you've got a couple small people with you, a couple little kids or something like that, you can throw them on this deal. They'll be okay there. But you know, this little bit smaller dinette is nice from the standpoint of, hey, you can sit here, you can have a meal, you can hang out. I mean, the TV is located behind us here. We'll show that here in a minute. But you know, you don't have to remove a table at the sofa sleeper. You've always got a seating area here, and again, it will fold down into another bed right here. We put a small pony wall right here to give you a little bit more of privacy, especially seating at this dinette. And then you've got obviously your sleeping area up top there. You've got a nice memory foam mattress, and there is an additional TV over there as well. That is a big flat screen TV for up there. Again, this is inspired by a customer. We actually did a custom build, and we just kind of took a lot of the things that they did and we equipped it on this trailer. And that's one of the things. They wanted the bigger flat screen up top there, and we just kept it on the inventory piece. So we just thought it was really, really nice. And then, like I mentioned, here's that big flat screen. Here's that second one down here in the living space. So at the sofas and the dinette, this is a really good location for everybody to see it. You've got your 6.0 refrigerator and freezer. Again, we understand you're traveling, taking a lot of stuff with you. The bigger is a little bit nicer to have. There's an additional that sink, like just I showed you in the bathroom there. That's a nice, another big and deep sink there. Recessed 2-burner cooktop. And at the end of this counter, there's a fold-up extension as well, so it gives you a little bit more counter space as you're preparing food. And then you've got your convection oven up above that. One of the last things, you've got a folding screen door that goes across. You've got your, up here is kind of a control panel for, here's our generator start, our hydraulic slide. Then as you can see as well, this is equipped with an electric awning. The electric awnings are really nice from the standpoint of hey, you push a button, it's not manual, we're not having to undo things, roll it out, roll it back in. What was happening too is a lot of people weren't operating their manual awning correctly. So when they would roll in, it automatically locks. And what they were doing was they were unlocking them when it would roll in there. So it potentially could cause damage, having to replace that. But on these electrics, it's really nice. It's push a button, out it goes, it comes in, it's locked. As you can see underneath there, there's some courtesy lights as well on this. And then that's the white part of that awning you see there. As you roll it out, the fabric will go to either a dark gray or black on this one. But that white that you see there is their flex guard, so that's going to protect from the UV rays on these awnings here. Exterior speakers as well. And then you'll also notice this is equipped with Wi-Fi. So this is Wi-Fi capable, and those are smart TVs in this trailer as well. One thing that we try to point out when we talk about it, we probably don't talk about it enough, is with Outlaw Conversions, these trailers are RVI certified. So what that means is they come in, certify the whole basically operation of how this trailer is put together. But more importantly, you know, this group really, you know, is advocates for us, you know, basically keeping these vehicles, these trailers, motorhomes, campers going down the road. But also, this trailer you can go to any national park, you can go to any campgrounds, any fairgrounds, and this meets all the standards, especially when it comes to electricity. So that's something that that Outlaw does on every single trailer. Now, one thing we did, we'll kind of step back and look here, is you see this extrusion. You know, a lot of times it kind of comes to the horse area, but we felt like, hey, let's run it clear to the gooseneck drop wall. We just feel like it gives a good kind of finished look to the trailer. Now, we briefly talked about the air ride suspension, so let's kind of dive into that. So again, one of the most common responses I get when I talk to a customer that's pulling an air ride trailer is, I will never own another trailer without air ride. Most important thing is the ride for the horses. Whether you're going competing, you're going long distances, you know, it's rough on, especially these roads that we go down. I mean, a lot of potholes, a lot of rough roads. You know, that's a lot of impact on the joints of the animals when they're going down the road. But this air ride suspension absorbs a lot of that. I mean, we spend a lot of money on these animals. We spend a lot of time. They're part of the family. We want to take care of them. So this air ride will help with that immensely. When Dexter did some testing, behind the axles is the worst part of a ride on a trailer. I always use the example of a school bus. It's fun when you're a kid because you hit the railroad tracks, you hit bumps, and it launches you. Well, that's what it does behind the axles on a trailer. When Dexter did their testing, it took away 52% of the road shock. So we're not getting near, you know, that bounce at the back of these trailers. Now, the way this trailer's set right here is, you know, the horses are actually kind of on the axles or ahead of them because this is one of those rear side loads, PC load, cowboy load setups here. There's a lot of different terms for it. But also with the air ride suspension is you have your rubber torsion Dexter axles. These are two 8,000 pounders. So if something happens to our air ride system, the compressor, a line, a bag, anything like that, this will set down on those and you can go down the road. The old systems, you were stuck, you couldn't go anywhere, but that's a misconception on some of these newer systems here. But 17 5-inch wheels, aluminum wheels are standard, and then you have 16 ply tires, so a nice heavy duty tire. And one more thing before we leave this area right here is this indicator light. So we kind of put these on these bigger LQs, bigger trailers, 8 foot wide, and the reason why is that will work as a extra brake light, turn signal, and a marker light. So with it being a little bit bigger indicator, again, a lot of people aren't paying attention. These trailers are big. You know, we want people to understand we're trying to get over that little indicator light's something that we've been doing here over the last year or so, but we really like putting that on these bigger, wider trailers. And then as we're looking here on hip side, you'll notice the drop downs. I've got the two ahead of the door. There is an additional one on the door, but man, we can create a lot of airflow through these trailers by having these drops on the hip wall as well. We're not as hot, you know, obviously in the humidity as the southern states up here in Colorado, but we will get some hot days. But we ship these trailers all over the country, and that's one thing we want to appeal to everybody, and that's why we did those drop windows there. So here's our ramp going into the stall area, but before we jump in there, let's kind of circle back around to the air ride. So this trailer is, like I mentioned, air ride equipped. Now I have it aired up right now. So you'll notice this gap between the tire and then this fender here. So with it being aired up, it's actually picked the trailer up about 2.5 inches. So when we pick up the box, it changed the angle of this side ramp right here. So if I'm loading, unloading horses, I would go up front and I would roll it to the lower position, because then it's going to drop it 2.5 inches and it's going to change this angle. It's not going to be as steep. I mean, this isn't, you know, we're not going up a mountain right here, but every little bit that we can help these animals, we're going to go ahead and do that. So again, if I was loading and unloading, I would go ahead and drop this down. And as we get into this first stall, I want to talk about this, because this right here is 48 inches wide. So this is a little bit bigger. And the reason why is we have to make this transition out of this trailer. So we've done a couple things. If this was a standard divider, you know, this is the area we're looking at getting the horse in and out. So as they're going in, it's a little bit easier, but as they're backing, you know, they're having to kind of turn their hip as they go around. But what we've done to help out with this is we put one of these breakover dividers of the first one. So once I break that over, now you see this transition really open up. This is gonna be a lot easier for a horse to make this turn getting in and out of here. And then on the first stall, and then as you can see, when you even open up this one, it folds up against as well. But this first divider here, it's a stud divider. So it goes clear to the floor, padded dividers, and then we did the airflow dividers as well. Again, just trying to create a lot of airflow through here, keeping the animals nice and comfortable. You know, one thing to also notice is, look, this is, you know, flush to the wall, nothing's protruding out. You know, Cimarron does a really good job at making sure, you know, animal safety comes first. Everything's got a radius to it. But this is a heavy UHMW plastic for the paddle latch itself. And then this is a cast aluminum piece that's powder coated around it as well. But why that's important is we don't have metal to metal contact here with this paddle latch being the UHMW. So we're not getting that rattle, that clanking, a lot of noise. but boy, they're really nice and easy to use. You know, as you get a horse loaded, you just push in, so we're not having to drop a pin. Just safer for everybody and the horses as well when we're loading and unloading. So the first stall here has an escape door. I'll show you that when we get to the outside, but having this stud divider, if we're needing additional storage and we're only hauling 1 to 2 head, you know, you can put some items here. We don't have to worry about things getting underneath horses as we're in transit. So let's touch a little bit on the floor. So what we're standing in the industry's best floor right now. These are 4-inch centers. It's a 12-inch deck that's got a truss in the middle. But imagine hoof size of a horse with those centers being every 4 inches apart. Wherever they're standing in this trailer, they're standing on a support beam. So this floor is going to hold up over time. Easiest way to tell quality of a trailer is you always start with the floor. So you can walk up to a trailer. You got to kind of crawl underneath it, but if you look and you see those centers are spread farther apart, well, it's a cheaper made trailer. But over time, you know, if we have a horse standing with support beams 6, 9, 12 inches apart, they stand in the middle. That's where we can get those pits and waves, because a lot of people put a aluminum piece over the top, just a sheet, and then weld from the bottom. To where with this being an extruded piece, a 12-inch deck, and we combine it with those 4-inch centers and that truss, I mean, we really gain a ton of strength right there. One of the other things standard on every Cimarron is this insulated roof. So like I mentioned, we incorporate airflow dividers, drop windows on the hip, drop windows on the head side, but this insulated roof that's standard on every single Cimarron keeps this stall area about 20% cooler than an aluminum sheeted roof. And again, we're trying to keep these animals as comfortable and cool as possible as we're going down the road, so that insulated roof really plays into that. The other thing is it will take substantial hail. It won't ding it up like your aluminum sheets will. I'll never say never. I mean, you can get big enough hail where it can do damage to anything, but it takes quite a bit. We can walk on these roofs and it won't dent them. They're really stout. You got some nice big LED lights in here as well, so you're getting plenty of lighting throughout this trailer. We've got load lights kind of incorporated on each side and the back of these trailers, so we're really, you know, we understand that a lot of times you're going to be doing stuff in the dark. So, hey, let's try to equip it with a lot of lighting, that way you're covered there. So as we're kind of working to the back, one thing also I want to notice up top is we've got our hay pod up top there. So everything's nice and sealed off from the weather, and located it behind it, and we'll actually kind of work our way to the back of the trailer here. That's where our onboard Awning 4000 generator is. So it's a gas gen. On this size of a trailer with the 1 AC and the 30 amp service at 4K is more than enough for you to operate this trailer. You can be in the middle of nowhere, and if you've got your fuel, you can fire that up and do anything you want in that living quarters on this trailer. Here at the back of the tack room, man, these setups have become so popular. Because of that rear side load, now we get the full width rear tack. And what's so cool about the full width rear tack is we're almost getting about the same amount of tack area as we would a mid tack. Not quite, but pretty dang close if you look at the square footage. But when we do a mid tack, we add 4 to 5 foot length to these trailers. So like I said, this is 30 foot on the floor. So this is a 2 foot short wall we're looking at here in this rear tack room. So if we would have done a mid tack on this setup here, this trailer wouldn't be 30 foot on the floor. It'd be probably in that ballpark of about 33, because we're kind of trading this 2 foot for that 5 foot of that mid tack. But again, we can keep the trailer a little bit shorter. But man, this is really nice. You've got your dual doors here. We carpeted the entire rear tack, the rear doors. The door to your right has a 4-tier blanket pole. This does swing out as well, so it's on a gas shock. We've got a brush tray. And then if you look at that partition wall there, you know, again, all carpeted, lined it with a lot of hooks. And then we put you a shelf here in the corner. And right below that, that's actually our fuel cell that's been installed there. Obviously a swing out saddle rack, we've got that opened up right now. So these are all adjustable. We can add more blanket poles if we want. We can do about anything with these. And then it just swings in against that wall right there. Left-hand door has got more bridle hooks for you. Again, carpeted, and then a second brush tray below it. And one other thing is when we shut these doors, these are independent, but what we have is we've got 2 fold-down steps. And man, it's just really nice if you are loading and unloading things. It's a lot easier making a smaller step than going flat-footed on the ground clear up into that box. So we really like incorporating those fold-up steps where we can. Now I'm going to shut this left-hand door. That's because I want to show you the ladder on the back side of it. So like I mentioned, we've got our pod and our generator up top, but we got to get up there. Instead of doing a bolt-on ladder, where you got to go up the side of this trailer, especially right now with the snow flying, it's wet. You know, as you're going straight up this ladder that's bolted on, you have the potential of slipping. I mean, I've done it and I've hit my shin and it is not fun. But having this easy angle ladder, man, it makes it really nice and easy getting up there to that hay rack, up there to your generator, getting up there to the roof of this trailer. If you do have a bolt-on and you want to look at this, these can be added to any trailer. So we can do that through our parts and service department. So now over here on driver's side, before we kind of get into this stuff up here, I showed you where that fuel cell was in the rear tack. Right here's where you're going to fuel up. So again, it's a gas gen, but if you get up to a pump, it's nice because it's on driver's side, so we can fuel up the pickup itself and then pull up and then fuel up our generator. So I've got our drop windows down with our mangers open here, just kind of showing you them combined. But as you can see on those drop windows, these are big, massive drop windows. We can create, again, a lot of airflow through these trailers. They are nice and heavy duty. Look at the framing around that window itself. That's all framework right there. So these guys are big and stout. You've got your welded hinges with grease zerks. So from a maintenance standpoint, that's really nice. And then look at those welds. This is the finished product, so you can't imagine what's behind, you know, what we can see out here. That quality really shows up over time. So nice big manger doors as well. This is all big frame stuff. Same welded hinges with grease zerks. The other thing is this trailer, it's all keyed alike. So our rear tack, our LQ, manger doors, drop windows, everything has one key. So it's not like we're having to find certain keys for the tack, certain keys for drop windows, certain keys for the LQ. We've got a drop window here in this escape door. We kind of touched on that a little bit on the inside. Again, a fold down step for us. And then you can access stall number 1. So again, if you have some items in there, if you're only traveling with 1 or 2 head, again, you can use this area for some additional storage. You know, you get to a gas station, you got your cooler right there, you're fueling up your truck, you can get something cold to drink, fuel up your gin. You know, you're not having to jump in and out of this trailer. Everything's really easy to access. Here's that slide. We've got it extended. This is a hydraulic slide on this one. So what we're able to do with the hydraulic slides, you can see right here, here's our freshwater fill. The freshwater tank is actually right behind this sofa in the slide out. And on the hydraulic slides, we can go ahead and do that. We don't have an official empty weight on this trailer just yet, but when the weather clears up here in a couple days, we'll run it across a certified scale and get that, and we'll actually put that on the website so you can check that out. But let me give you the stock number on this trailer just for reference. So if you have any questions on it, you can just give us this number and we can help you out. So again, it's a 2021 Cimarron Norstar 3-horse LQ. Stock number is 5N201-145. Again, it's a 13.6 Outlaw Conversions. This is an air ride equipped trailer. So if you have any questions, go ahead and give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. We appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.